Hey guys, what's up? This is In Transit, and I'm here to show you guys a little bit behind the scenes of how I actually work, particularly in building out samples for future use. Especially when it is I go into different genres and try to figure out, okay, what's popping, what's the new thing. It helps deconstruct the productions of your favorite producers and helps you develop your own style and understanding which roads to take. As a mix engineer, as a producer, I really do believe that this technique or process is really essential for building your own libraries. So without further ado, let's go in the computer and show you guys how we do it. So yeah, we inside Logic now. And before we go on, let me give a quick shout out to my sponsors, my mom and dad, big ups. Yeah. So yeah, because all this wouldn't be possible without your parents, right? Bless. Anyway. The how I approach this of building samples, and as well I would say not just building samples, I will call it figuring out a producer's process and stuff, right? I would choose a song that I like, choose a song. In my case, I chose WizKid Joro, right? And I want to build up my Afrobeat kit, get a sense of the feel for the genre and everything, right? So without going and saying too much, let me just play it and you could see, and let's see what's up, right? So as you could see how close in comparison it is, right? The main thing is, well, one of the things you would note when I come around for the guitar, there's certain articulations that I couldn't really get as yet. I wouldn't say I wouldn't figure it out. It's just I just haven't yet gotten around to it. I'm just putting down the broad strokes, and then I'll go back in and then figure out the intricate details of how they actually strum and stuff. But the reality is, at that point, honestly, I would start playing my own thing, because the whole goal is developing your own song, but whilst using the palette of another producer or another mix engineer or whatever. So it's just trying to get in the mold and understanding what made that song do what it's supposed to do, besides the marketing and stuff, what made that song a hit song, right? So yeah, so let's start, right? And this is more like a show tutorial, because to actually go into sound design and stuff, it's a lot beyond the scope of what it is you could show for this video. But I hope by doing the video you will be able to get some inspiration, right? So okay, so with the kick, right? So with the kick, I started, and I probably might play too much of his own due to Instagram and their rules, not Instagram shit, YouTube and their rules. So I probably might just be playing most of my version versus his version, right? Because I don't want to get any strikes and yeah. Okay, cool. So with the kick, I use kick 2, right? I believe that every beat maker or every producer should be able to handle kick 2, or even get into the habit of using kick 2 to at least understanding the basis of it, so that you could create your own thing, especially if you realize in your arsenal that you don't have all the stuff that one song has, right? So anyway, all right, let me see if I could do an A and B quick of his own. Mute all this, mute all the other stuff, right? So I would say that my kick is definitely heavier, right? A lot more because even after, so with all these here, right, this is how the kick songs a little, pokey, right? And that's a good thing. You come up with your own words to describe these things, right? So my one was a little more pokey, right? And even with my slight EQing, it still wasn't really getting. It's getting a little more full, a little more thick, but not necessarily doing exactly what it is I wanted. So my dad was like, "Yo, try putting on T-Rex, right?" And hear what that did. You feel that weight? You feel that weight? It's like on your back right now, eh? Yeah. And it still has the sonic characteristics of the original um the original sound, right? Star boy, what you do? Right? Um I would say that the kick sounds of Afrobeats tend to be a little more flat, if you know what I'm saying. Flat, a little more body, a little more weight, a little more dull, right? A little more boxy, right? That's what I realize, as opposed to the kicks that are in the trap, US trap. It's a little more hard, as it would. Whereas in Afrobeats and stuff, from what it is I am realizing through doing the reconstruction of the song, it's a little more heavy, a little more dull, less pokey. It's still pokey, but less pokey, you know. All right. So I'm not too sure what more I can go into this, but it's just, again, I think the whole idea of this is deconstructing and understanding the dullness of this, of what makes up their style of kick, right? So one more time. Let me go into the drum so you can catch a little understanding how it's phrasing. All right. So right down the list. Let's go with the. So let's say we got the kick. Let's go with the bass now. All right. Honestly, for their bass is a little dull as well too. Right. It's like in the back, hiding a little spooky bass, you know. Right. A little spooky bass. Let's see. So yeah, so for that I just used the Modo bass, which is fabulous. Like I use this for like any acoustic bass kind of thing that I'm thinking, and that's why I realized too a lot of the Afrobeat is it's driven with the acoustic instruments. Not saying that they won't use other things, but it has that flavor of being live somehow, either in the snare and then they mix it with something else, as you would see when I get there, right? Um, and then just for the bass, like I just use the C4 just to tame things down a little bit more, because with these bass notes, certain notes that carry more energy jumps out at you, so I just tame down some of those notes. Starboy. So yeah, so it puts it a little more in the back of the mix. Um, okay. As we go down the line, let's go to the guitars now. So the guitar, as I said, I ain't even finished the guitar right now too much. The guitar's still there, you know. The guitar is still. That part right there, I ain't figured that out yet. I know the notes, but in terms of the articulation, to get the plugin to do the certain articulation, because I'm not really versed in ample guitar as yet. So when I get to that point, I just put in the main foundation of like the key, the actual notes that they were actually playing, right? Strum. Okay, this is interesting. All right, so for the strum, right, I use Serum to actually build over this so I believe like this was I was probably most proud about this because I think I got it as close as I can. So yeah, so I think and I was challenging myself to see, man, how best I could take this pulse with modulation thing, and like, because most of these songs is like, it sounds like something else. So I was just trying to get what sound does it. Just sounds kind of screechy. I picture like a comb running through my head. That's how I figured out, okay, well, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could make it sound, because it sounds like a stringed instrument, but it sounds hard, it sounds a little harsh. And so, um, not much there. Use some distortion, use some chorus modulation, and yeah. I think if I wanted to go a little further, I think I could have probably even started to modulate some stuff, but I think that would have been overkill. I just really wanted to get the main idea of the overall style of the song, right? What else? What else? Let's just see. I'm trying not to make it too long because I'm not too sure if that's what people want or whatever. So maybe in another tutorial or show tutorial or whatever, people ask for more in-depth things, and I actually say, all right, cool. Today we focusing on the kick or whatever. But today is just supposed to be like, this is what I did. See what it looks like, right? Right. So if you go back to,
Star boy, what she do?
he has this thing like, it's like some dried up horns. It go right, pretty wide. Listen to it. Combined like a brass, right? Some trumpets cut off the top end off of the low end off of everything. Um, then get a next vocal sample, put it on top of it, right? And then it started in F, and then I went up to G, F, right? So now that, let's say you go through and you listen to things intently and you built it, and okay, what do you do now to build out your library, right? So what I do is, let's say if it's the kick I want to start saving out, because let's say somebody comes asks you, oh, where you get that kick from? Let me get that kick off you, son. Let me get that kick real quick. Hey, that's crazy. Let me get that kick real quick. So right, so you get this kick. So what you want to do is just that you want to have it there. And the reason why I won't really add, you could probably do it two ways, like save it as an Apple loop and as a wave or external as a PCM file. But the reason why I would advise against just doing it only as an Apple loop, because in case somebody else wants it, right? Or in case you don't have access to Logic, but you will still have access to all your stuff, right? So I would say you would come in, split the kick, right? Then you would go up to edit, and you would use the export command, right? And then you would say export region as audio file, right? Or matter of fact, as you could either do the region as an audio file or the selection as an audio file. Either way will bring up the window, I believe. And right, so let's say, all right, I save it as that, and then I would have a folder. Let's say I would have a folder on the desktop, right? I'll have a folder on the desktop, and then I would probably just create a new folder, call it my samples, right? Then I'll go in here and say new folder, call this kick, right? So I have this is where I'm going to put my kicks in, and then come down here, and I name it like where I got it from or what the inspiration is. So I call it Joro kick, and the scale, or the key of this I think was D, right? So that way when I pull it in, I know where I'm at, right? So yeah, and then you just hit export. My bad, guys. I just kind of was lost for a little while, but what I needed to do really and truly was, I was here. I need to go in Macintosh HD. Need to go my name. Need to go here. I need to go desktop, and then boom, my samples kick, and voila. Then you could drag this in, and there you go. You have your kick, and that's just it. And then you would do the same thing for when you do your snare and so forth and so on, right? And really and truly, I think that this is honestly the best way um of building out your sample library, because it not only helps you to develop um the skills of listening intently, but it also gives you the ability to create your own samples at the same time. So you actually doing two things in one, right? And truth is, you will never get the song to sound exactly what it is, right? That's just the truth. But you could try to see how close you could get it, and through exploration and designing new things, you kind of figure out, oh well, I didn't get this, but out of that whole creative process, I got X, Y, and Z that I could further use for another project. And it helps, again, it just helps you with the listening process and really listening intently at things that you would just otherwise just take for granted, right? So anyway, I hope that this show tutorial of some kind was kind of helpful. And yeah, let me know if all you want the kit. I could give you guys this kit. Was no scene, ain't no thing to create it, and it ain't no thing to share it. So, alright. So bless. Hope you guys have a good one, and hit me with the outro, Mr. James.